Hello everyone, this is the Archfiend, and as you can see I'm on my deep in thought pose here, and I want to talk to you guys about a little topic of states' rights versus national rights. And what I mean by that is a state in the United States basically making a law or changing a law and not being able to do so or being able to do so versus a law or set of guidelines that is put in place by the federal government that everyone has to follow, all the states in America. I recently started thinking about this again because in America there's a number of states, I do believe it's 5 so far. It's Utah, Indiana, Georgia, Arizona, and now Alabama, that have decided to create their own version of illegal immigration laws. And just yesterday, it was announced for the 5 out of 5 times that the Barack Obama administration is suing the state of Alabama because Governor Bentley just introduced and got passed legislation that was going to basically refine immigration laws for that state and basically have their own set of rules to go by as far as immigration laws. Now, the U.S. government, the State Department, and pretty much every president, going back as far as immigration laws have been put in place, have been against any state wanting to enforce their own version of immigration laws. Now, I find this curious, and like I said, the Barack Obama administration has stopped all 5 of the previously mentioned states from having their laws put in place. Alabama and the rules that Governor Bentley just put in place are set to take forth on September 1st. It was just announced yesterday that the Barack Obama administration is taking Alabama to court. They are literally suing the state of Alabama because they are basically superseding the laws that are already established by the federal government, the federal laws that mandate immigration laws for every single state in America. All 5 states have had their laws halted as far as changing any sort of illegal immigration protocol. Now, I find this to be a unique topic, and I hope you guys do too, because this brings up the question of what does a state have the right to do versus what the federal government has the right to do. Because if you talk to the State Department, if you talk to anyone on a presidential committee or anyone in the president's cabinet, they will tell you illegal immigration is a problem in this country. There are 11 million illegal immigrants, and those are numbers reported by the State Department. 11 million illegal immigrants in the United States of America right now. Now that is more than a handful of people. And no, these aren't all like terrorists waiting for their cue to attack or anything like that. The far, far, far majority of those 11 million people are here producing goods, services, labor hours, stuff that everyone in this country benefits from. Are they beating the system by not paying taxes? Sure. Are some of them potential terrorists? Sure. Are some of them potentially people that are criminals from another country seeking refuge here and hope they don't get detected? Absolutely. There is absolutely bad and evil intent with some of the people that are here illegally from another country. But I can tell you right now, there's a whole hell of a lot of good that comes from them being here as well, and we got to be kidding ourselves if we say otherwise. They are a cog, if you will, in a machine that helps keep America running smoothly, or as smoothly as it is going nowadays. So, the State Department will flat out say, illegal immigration is a problem in this country. And now you have states that are coming up and saying, okay, we recognize the problem that the government has noted. We are going to create rules and legislation that help curb that problem. We're not asking for the federal government to give us any sort of manpower, any sort of agents or anything like that. All these states that have passed these laws, everything is going to be handled internally in the state. It's going to be processes that are done by taxes from that state. Like I said, doesn't require any sort of federal agents to help, intervene in the process at any point. I'm sure they would appreciate it if it would, but they're saying, hey, we'll take care of the problem on our own. And yet, every single time this happens, the government steps in and says, no, you can't do that. Can anyone else out there think of something that is identified as a problem by the government and a state enacts laws to help stop that problem, yet the government is against it? Now, this goes back to the whole thing I mentioned earlier of states' rights versus national or government rights that govern every single state. Why is it that the government has to supersede any sort of law regarding this issue? Now, I could understand if they said, well, we're going to only detain Middle Eastern immigrants. That's what this law is designed to do. These laws on the books aren't set to create a division between race, creed, ethnic minorities, or anything like that. It's just laws that are put forth saying, hey, if we catch you and you're an illegal immigrant, there's going to be a pretty damn stern punishment. So you better be here legally or else you're going to face the consequences. That's the laws these states have put forth, and the government is against it. The government is against a state cracking down on people that are illegal. Does that make sense to anyone? Now, it doesn't really matter if you're for or against these laws that the states want to impose, but it's addressing a problem and it's making punishment harsher for this problem. Why doesn't the state have the right to do so? Like, for instance, there is a number of things that states do that are different from one state to the next. Pick something simple here. The age to drive. The age to drive an automobile in a state in the United States can range from 15 years old to, as far as I saw, up to 18 years old. I know when I grew up in New Jersey, the age to drive was 17 years old. I know a number of other states where it was 16 years old, and I know a number of states where it's 18 years old, where you have to be that old to get the driver's license. Why does a state have the right to do that? Why can't the government say, whoa, you know what, 15 is a little bit of an immature age to be able to drive. I think everyone should be 18 years old. I mean, you're legal to vote, you're a technical, of age person. But yet the state doesn't intervene with something like that. Why not? Why not? I mean, clearly there is a safety issue, isn't there? The younger you are, the more likely you are to get into a experience just from the lack of being more mature. But the government doesn't intervene on that. It lets a state decide whatever age they want to. Now, there has been times where a state has decided to change the age of something that was set up as the proper age for the entire nation. Take South Dakota versus Dole. That's Elizabeth Dole, not Bob Dole, the Supreme Court case. Back in 1984, the legal drinking age in the United States of America was moved from 18 up to 21. Now, the state of South Dakota figured out a way around this that would help basically generate more revenue for the state. And what they did is they said, all right, we're going to acknowledge that the federal law has been changed to 21 being the legal age to consume alcohol. However, we're an independent state and we decide that the legal age to purchase alcohol is going to be 19 years old. However, we're going to punish anyone between the ages of 19 up to 21 that consume alcohol before they turn 21. Now, of course, the Supreme Court was like, well, these people that are 19 and 20 aren't going to be, purchasing the alcohol to give to their parents or something. They're going to be consuming it themselves. So then laws became on the books and, the legal age became 21 to purchase alcohol everywhere. But that's an example of a state basically saying, hey, you know what? We're still going to punish the people, but we're going to make the purchasing of the item okay. But we're still going to respect the government's wishes to mandate that you have to be 21 to consume it. So that's an example how age just basically got, thrown out the window. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. 21's the age to drink alcohol and to purchase it now. So the state obviously, the government obviously steps in when they want to as far as age regulation, but not against age regulation when it's something like a driver's license. And going back to the whole illegal immigration thing, there has to be a reason why the government is so against any state, literally any state that passes legislation. The State Department is all over it like white on rice saying you can't do that. You can't do that. Why? Why not? If the state and the people within that state want to live in a quote-unquote land that is more strict against people that are there illegally, what is the harm? What is the possible harm from that? Granted, I know full well that the illegal immigrants in this country produce many goods and services that would be missed if they were gone. But by God, if a state wants to change the rules to make things more stringent, make the punishments more severe for people that are there illegally, and the government is against it every single time? What sense does that make? How does that, I think about that and I'm like, the government has a problem. The states are willing to address this problem. The government has a problem with the fact that the states want to address that problem. What? Holy shit, people. Anyways, I'll put a link in the video description about what happened yesterday with Governor Bentley in Alabama, and yeah, I've always thought way too deeply into this whole states versus national government rights and why states can do certain things and why they can't do certain things and what the end game is, because the only thing I could possibly think of is that the government doesn't want states to start doing this, and then every state in the nation does it, and then all of a sudden that 11 million people dwindles down to just a handful, just like 1 million, 2 million, and then all of a sudden there's a lot of Americans that don't want to do certain sectors of labor that they're going to be forced to do, and life is going to be miserable for people that aren't used to going, without their Starbucks every morning and shit like that. And anyways, that's a whole different tangent of a topic. But so, little more of a thinking video here for you guys. I'll get back to the whore bashing on YouTube and all that another time. So this is the video for this week, I guess, and I gotta start making more than one video a week again. I'm sorry about that, guys. I've just been lazy about it. Anyways, god damn it, I said anyways! I hate that. It's bad grammar. It's supposed to be anyway. Made it through the whole video and I messed up the grammar at the end. Shit. Have a great day, everyone.